mass of people down there. This time 2 days ago, there were just over 4,000 people. There are now upwards of 11,000. We are talking nearly a tripling of the numbers in just 48 hours. Hundreds of people crossing from Mexico as we speak right now, arriving into the United States illegally. Wow, that is a lot of people down there.
That's the voice of our own reporter, Bill Malugin, capturing these alarming images of the International Bridge in Del Rio, Texas, where the number of migrants surges past 11,000. Retired acting ICE director and Fox News contributor Tom Homan was live on our air yesterday as we received these images in real time. He joins us now, along with Laura Allen, a rancher in Del Rio's county of Valverde. Tom, let's start with you for just a moment. What is your reaction to not just these images, but how about some numbers as well? In August of this year, 209,000 encounters at the border. 1 year ago, 50,000. You're looking at an increase of over 300%. There's the numbers, Tom, and you've seen the images.
Well, once again, the Biden administration is lying. They're saying there's 209,000 encounters, which is down from the 212,000 the month before. Let's be clear. The encounters are down almost 4,000. But the border crossings continue to rise because what's happening, Will, they're taking more and more agents off the line to deal with this crisis, like what's under that bridge. They shut down checkpoints to do this. They're taking more agents off the line, even though 40% were already off the line. When you take agents off the line, there's going to be less encounters. It just means more gotaways. So what the administration is not telling you, yeah, we got less encounters, but we got a lot more gotaways. So the crossing of the border hasn't slowed down a bit. And let me tell you something. I talked to Border Patrol Command yesterday, and this is his words, and it's shocking. He goes, Tom, it's broken arrow. Broken arrow. We are overwhelmed. We have lost operational control of the southern border. And he says the White House is not helping us. The Secretary of Homeland Security is not helping us. We've been abandoned. These are words that should strike every heart in this country, that we have lost control of our border on purpose because this administration shut down policies that worked. They knew what they were doing. They caused this surge. This is intentional.
Yeah, Tom, you're pointing out the numbers July to August, by the way. Those numbers, though, even as they're reported, August to August, year over year, are just stunning. 317% increase. And you're talking about, by the way, Border Patrol agents being pulled. Laura, I know that's something you're experiencing. You live in Del Rio, you ranch just outside of Del Rio, and I know you've encountered this issue of, can you even get Border Patrol to respond to everything that's happening in your community?
Well, you know, what we're seeing is that there's less availability to respond. You know, with the decreased number of agents, as Mr. Homan said, you know, what we're seeing is there's times when you can call and you have maybe two, and the response to that is, you know, we don't have the agents. And I just wanted to make a note real quick. Not only am I a rancher, but, you know, I'm a lifetime resident and I'm the former Valverde County judge. And, you know, I've seen this at every level from inside and out, and we've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, put that into perspective for me, Laura. You know, I didn't realize that, by the way. I mean, being a rancher puts you on the ground, lets you see what's happening literally on the dirt in that area of the country. You've lived there your entire life, so you have some context about your town, its size, and its ability to handle this kind of crisis. But you've also been a judge as well, so you have some background into the legal system and the pressure and the threshold that you have to deal with something like this. So put it into context. In your lifetime, how does this compare?
In context, in my lifetime, there's nothing in comparison. You know, we've never seen anything like this. And, you know, we have friends, we have family, we have, you know, community members that are Border Patrol agents, Customs, et cetera, law enforcement, and they're inundated. They're to the breaking point. This is absolutely unacceptable.
Tom, I'd love to ask you about this drone flight that was grounded by the FAA. The FAA answers to the Transportation Secretary, who is Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg answers to the Biden administration. In your estimation and your experience, Tom, where would an order like this come from to ground drone coverage from the press of what's happening at that bridge in Del Rio?
It came from the White House. Look, they've been lying from the beginning, right? They said it was the Trump's fault. It was seasonal. It was slowed down in the summer. It's because of hurricanes. They said it was slowed down in the summertime. They've lied from day one. They don't want the American people to see the truth. And the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, needs to be removed. He's the Secretary of Homeland Security. His actions, or his inactions, has caused our homeland to be less secure than it ever has been. I worked for him when he was deputy secretary. He knows how to stop this crisis. We stopped it. We built detention centers. We held people. We had consequence to deterrence. We had an enforcement posture. We removed people, and we shut it down. He's doing the complete opposite by releasing people, not removing people, and not seeing a judge. So he has purposely either taken orders from the White House to ignore his responsibilities as secretary, or he fell into the progressive left. Look, 350,000 gotaways, Will. 350,000 people came across the border, were not arrested. You can fill the Dallas Cowboys Stadium 5 times with the people that come across this border and got away. How many of them were carrying fentanyl? How many of them were gang members? How many of them were on terrorist watch lists? We know Border Patrol arrested 11 on the terrorist watch list already this year. How many of that 350,000 are on a terrorist watch list? That just scared the hell out of every American, and this government has failed us. This administration has made this country less safe, and that scares the hell out of me.
Laura, I'd love to give you the last word here. I've heard this word used often to describe what's happening at our southern border. I've heard the word invasion. Now, you have heard from Tom the numbers of gotaways, 350,000 gotaways. You hear the numbers of 11,000 people encamped there at the International Bridge. What word would you use to describe what's happening in your town along the southern border?
Well, actually, we were closer to 13,000 and above yesterday, and our town is approximately 40,000 people. The county is approximately 50. We're very rural, 3,200 square miles of county to cover. And there's just simply not enough. There's not enough agents, and gotaways are a true problem because the people that are coming here to this bridge, these 13,000 plus, they are just simply standing here wanting to turn themselves in. There's approximately 2 miles of fence right here at this bridge, and that's what is holding this area. Outside of that, in the 3,200 square miles of county that we have, there's a lot of property to be crossed, and it is an invasion. It is a full-on run on our border.
Yeah, and to listen to you describe it, the word that occurs to me is absolutely overwhelmed. Tom, Laura, thank you so much both for being with us this morning.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me.